So we here, put our money here, take our money out. The stock market's safe, it's soaring. Oh, we're in a recession. You need to buy gold, you need to buy silver, you need to buy Bitcoin. Don't keep cash, keep cash. It's amazing how much we are pulled and swayed different ways with our own money, but ultimately it comes down to what you think is best for your family. I'm going to tell you about a situation that I had this week and how important it is and what we're doing as a family with our money. And hopefully it will give you some wisdom to know what to do with your money. And I think a good balanced approach is what we need. Balance means sanity, which I think also means common sense. Let's jump right into the video today. It starts right now.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love?
Hey guys, welcome to the Max. It is a gorgeous morning here on farm. We've had a long night. We did a lot of butchering and processing last night. We shared some of those pictures on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're following us, check those pictures out. I want to remind you, if you want to see a lot of our farm, we do a lot of pictures on Facebook and Instagram. So check us out on Facebook and Instagram so you can see those pictures of what we're doing on the farm and being more sustainable in the practices we have here to grow our own food. If you're new to our channel, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell. We have a lot of people watching and maybe about 40% of them are subscribed. So please go down here, press subscribe, and that way you know what's going on here on the farm. Also what's going on with some of the world news, what can make us better as a homesteader or prepper as we go into the future. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not in the best mood when it comes to thinking about money sometimes. I love crunching numbers and budgeting. That is who I am. I love it. It is just a part of me. I guess that's my nerdiness. So I know everywhere my dollars go, depending on how much feed I'm feeding my animals, how much my hay is costing, how much this has cost me to prep, how much this has cost me energy-wise. My goal is to always know numbers and crunch them. I'm not pushing you to do anything with your money. I'm not selling anything on this video. I just want to tell you what I'm personally doing because of a personal experience that I dealt with this week. So just like everyone else, a lot of times when we get paid from things that we do, some commissions that we get or sales that we do, they come in via digital. They come in, they can't send a check. Some companies sends us checks. We would rather have checks come in so we have tangible money to where we could take to the bank. So we have some direct deposits to our accounts to pay us. Well, we have 2 or 3 affiliates that won't pay us that way. They only use PayPal. Now, I've kind of pushed against PayPal for years because I think they're so tied up with the World Economic Forum. I believe they want to know too much about your life. I think it's a bad policy. So I'll tell you what happened to me and also how it's not only this one story, I think it's a bigger outlook that we need to take as a prepper, but also as just a common sense American. So this week, this money was supposed to come to me and it was just a payment for I think a quarter, and it was not just a monster chunk of money. Significant amount of money, but at the same time, I'm not dependent on this money. It was like a commission bonus for me, and it was around $1,500. Now that's a lot of money, but it's not like, you know, my life savings. When this money came to this account, to this PayPal account, set up under a business ID, under our farm account and our LLC. So all of a sudden I get an email stating the company sent the payment. So I said, okay, great, it'll be here in 2 or 3 days, no big deal. Then I get an email from PayPal stating that my payment was on hold and they had to have more information about us to process our payment and that I could not touch that money. Now, if you go back a week or 2 ago when all of a sudden PayPal did this big push where they were gonna start putting fines on people for some narratives of misinformation. Well, I want to tell you the power of your dollars. Because of that, when that story broke, everyone went crazy and started pulling their money and canceling PayPal. Their value of their company, their stock market value lost around $6 billion. That is making a difference. Well, all of a sudden they came out and excused it. The question is, why did they not say, I'm sorry, I apologize, I'm going to change the way that I'm looking at it? More or less, it was an accident. No one wants to fess up to what they're doing with this World Economic Forum and also this global push. But back to the story. So when they started losing value, I heard a lot of people and a lot of influencers, a lot of people that we deal with locally say, you know, we couldn't get our money or we couldn't pass funds for certain things. And we're talking $20, $30. So people didn't push and they didn't get mad. But when this came in, I told Misty, I said, I honestly just don't want to embrace this company anymore. Let's get these payments in and let's cancel. And people can either pay us other ways or we just won't be able to do business with them. Well, all of a sudden they put a hold on this account. One thing I think that we should worry about is Do they even have the money to pay all the claims out when people want to cancel? In our culture now, we see banks doing the same thing. They may not have the money to cover all their deposits and all the withdrawals that they would need if all of a sudden everybody said, you know, I want my money back. Especially national banks, especially national brands. So that brings up a whole nother discussion we'll have in just a second. But does PayPal have the funds to pay all the people back that's wanting to cancel PayPal now? So I emailed PayPal and I said, hey, why can't I get these funds? Now here's the scary thing. They held my money. That's one thing. I think that's stupid. I think that's a bad policy. But again, when we turn around and give our money and we assign these agreements and we, agree to use this platform, they pretty much can do whatever they want and we have no repercussions because we're not big enough to battle them. So they're holding our money, and I said, why are you holding our money? Well, here's the crazy thing. They said, this transaction, we need to know a little bit more about it. What services did you offer? What are they paying you for? Why are they paying you this much over this amount of time? And this is all for your security. So we need to know where did you do business and why is this so far away? Because this person that was paying us was an affiliate account. It was coming from, I think, Utah. And they said, you're in Mississippi. Tell me the reason of the location and why they sent it to you digitally. Why is it any of their business of any of those situations? And I know people will push back and say, well, what if you were doing something wrong or something bad? What if you were trying to transact for illegal things? Well, why would I use PayPal to do that? That's pretty idiotic. Two things this showed me was, first of all, if we want to be in control of our money, we have to have our money tangibly. I tell people all the time, if you're doing crypto, have your own wallet. If you're doing gold and silver, don't do paper gold and silver. Don't buy it on the market. Buy physical gold and silver. Same way with cash. Now, people push back all the time and say, well, because you're talking cash, I'm unsubscribed, I'm leaving. I think that's stupid to hold cash. Well, until the fiat money goes down, the dollar has went up in value, and that's, again, for bad circumstances, and I believe that that's hurting us across the world, ultimately because of our dollar and our situation, the way we were manipulating it. But what I'm saying is, someone wrote in yesterday and said, I'm glad you talk about cash because when a hurricane hit us in Puerto Rico last year, he said no one could do anything because we all had our money digitized and put in our bank accounts. Our bank accounts would not release our money, the ATMs would not release our money, and we almost starved to death. But the people who had cash could do things and transact and live. Other than that, we had to depend on the government to provide our water and our food and our needs. So back to the PayPal story. If we're going to be in control of our own money, we've got to say, you know what? If we're supposed to do business and we're supposed to transact and we want to do business with these companies, sometimes we're going to have to sacrifice and say, either I'm going to wait on a check or there needs to be another way of paying me. I'm not against digitized transaction. I'm not against bank transfers. I'm not against Cash App or Venmo or even PayPal. But the problem is, be ready that they are in control of your money. If you can't get your money, it is your fault, because ultimately, just like us, we trusted that PayPal was just going to give us our money and that they wanted all this information. They wanted a driver's license picture. They wanted a current address of where I lived, not what's on the license, where I actually get mail, where my physical location was. Not only that, they wanted to see what business was this tied to and why they were paying us. Just as I said, there was a lot of questions on that. My social security number, our tax identification number. Now, I know as a business, we have to provide a lot of those things. I'm providing them to a company that's not got a good track record of being good to its consumers, especially the ones that lean on the freedom and conservative side. So how does that make me feel when they're holding money and I can't get it? Fast forward, I actually went back to the provider and said, look, they're not wanting to pay me and they're wanting to hold our money. I turned around and everyone that I was tied to with PayPal, I went back and me and Misty emailed each one of these companies and said, look, if you want to do business with us, we've got to find another way to do it. Overwhelmingly, we talked to 10 different businesses, and all those businesses said, we're having problems with PayPal and people getting paid. They are dropping them left and right. Here's some other options for you. So why are they holding our money? Why are they wanting more information of you? Why are they tracking you so much? Well, it's not just PayPal. It's a lot of these monster banks that we're in. Look at their policies. Are they really looking out for you? Are they doing things for the World Economic Forum? Are they looking globally? Are they looking to push all these narratives like ESG? Or are they looking out for their consumers and the people that are actually doing business with them day in and day out? So you have the power, just like PayPal struggled when all of a sudden everybody started canceling. They lost $6 billion. We have more power than we give ourselves credit for. So it's time to stand up and say, you know what, I want to know where my money's at, and I want to know why you want to know all the information about my money. That's why I enjoy bartering. That's why I enjoy cash. That's why I enjoy having tangible assets here in my hands, because guess what? I can transact, I can move money, I can do business without everybody wanting to know my personal business. That is freedom. That is common sense. If you're a person that you can't help doing all these transactions online, if you can't help using transactions like PayPal, I'm sorry, that's okay. You've got to get through it and you've got to work through what's best for you. But I would challenge you, don't leave money in these institutions if they are having policies like this where they're in control of your money and not you in control of your money. Just like the Puerto Rico story. If you don't have the cash, you don't have the bartering, you don't have the assets, you don't have the stockpile as a prepper or a homesteader, and you can't provide those things, who did they rely on? The government. Is the government supposed to step in major disasters? Yes, I believe that's what the government's there for. I believe that's where our tax dollars should be, is that we are helping other people. But I don't want to rely on the government. I want to make sure that I can take care of ourselves. So I don't want people holding my money. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket where all my assets are in banks and in digitized currencies. I want to have cash. I want to have tangible assets that I can use here. I want to have bartering assets. We've done videos on bartering, how important it is. Not only to have food for ourselves, but to have ways that we can transact without it being a digitized currency. We reached out to the provider worked it out, and that money got released to us, and we've canceled PayPal. So you can't PayPal us anymore if you're wondering. Make sure you know where your money is and know that it is safe and know that you have access to it. Do I have money in banks? Absolutely. Invest in local banks and local credit unions. For instance, we have a bank here. We have about 7 banks in our town, roughly, and 1 credit union. I'm invested in a local bank. That local bank, all their stockholders live in our town. So I want to invest in people like that who wants to see our town thrive, but also wants to keep our money here. If I had to get a loan, I want it in-house, because that means the money stays here in our economy. Those people all work and live here in this community, which ultimately helps our local economy. I don't want to go to this national bank here in town. Not that I have anything against them. It's just, for me, are they looking out for my best interest? Am I just a number? If I walk in a local bank, they may know who I am. If I walk in a national bank, they may not know who I am. And if I say I need to get my money out, that might be a process. PayPal doesn't know me, and that's okay. But to me, if we can't do business where you can just pay me my fund that you had nothing to do with, you are just the pass-through, and you want to know more information about me, I have a problem with that. Is that a security risk? I don't know. I'm just saying, for me and my family, we're going to use a common sense approach. We're going to keep some money in banks, but local. We're going to keep some money in crypto and in gold and silver, but it's going to be kept tangibly. We're going to have stockpiles in food and commodities because we want to make sure we can take care of our family, and we're going to have some cash on hand. Not that we don't have some in banks, but we're going to have some cash on hand as well. So I hope this video helps. This is my story. This is what we're doing. If you don't think it's wise, you think I'm stupid, leave me a comment below. If you think this is a good idea and you're doing this, leave a comment below. I need to know what you think about this. Personally, if I'm working for my money and it's my money, I don't want anybody else telling me what I can or can't do or holding my money without me allowing them to. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're new to our channel, again, please go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell. And guys, thank you so much for watching. We live in a crazy, volatile world. And I think the more we can prepare, the more we can be sustainable, the more you can be ready to take care of your family for the time to come. God bless, guys. Happy homesteading, y'all.